In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
Good morning. Yesterday we saw how they needed some folks to serve the widows at their tables, and so they chose Stephen and 6 others who were full of Holy Spirit and full of faith, because whatever you do, you want it to be kingdom related, and the only way that'll happen is if Holy Spirit is the one doing it through you. I didn't emphasize that they laid hands on these guys, that the love of God would flow and fill them up. That's what laying on of hands is all about. The flow of the love of God out of you into whoever it is that you're laying hands on. Well, they laid hands on these guys and they moved in power. We're going to see that today. Not only did they move in power, but the religious people didn't like it a bit. We're in Acts chapter 6, and I'm going to read verses 8 through 15. Here's what they say. Stephen, full of grace and full of power, was performing great wonders and signs among the people. See, that's what happens when you're moving the love of God. When Holy Spirit lives his life through you because you've been baptized by Holy Spirit, then you move in power. And signs and wonders will happen through you because that's what happens when the love of God flows. Verse 9, but some men from what was called the synagogue of the freedmen, including Cyrenians and Alexandrians, and some from Cilicia and Asia, rose up and they argued with Stephen. But they were unable to cope with his wisdom and the spirit with which he was speaking. See, it wasn't even his spirit. It was Holy Spirit united to him, moving in power through him, speaking wisdom that it was the wisdom of God, not just the false wisdom that is wisdom of men. Verse 11, then they secretly induced men to say, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God. You remember when Jesus was, quote, on trial, that they trumped up charges against him. They brought in people and had them lie against Jesus. Well, they're doing the same thing against Stephen. And they stirred up the people, the elders and the scribes, and they came up to him and they dragged him away and they brought him before the council. See, that's the same thing they did to Jesus. Verse 13, and they put forward false witnesses who said, this man incessantly speaks against this holy place and against the law. Well, he spoke in terms of the grace of God, the love of God, but that doesn't nullify the law. He wasn't speaking against the law. He was just speaking in favor of, in power of, in the glory of the love and grace of God. For we have heard him say that the Nazarene Jesus will destroy this place and alter the customs which Moses handed down to us. Well, he's not changing the customs, but it's a new covenant. And so he's speaking the truth of the new covenant. Oh, by all means, obey the law, but you don't have to do it to please God anymore. Verse 15, and they were fixing their gaze on him. All who were sitting in the council saw his face. Now, are you listening? Oh, my goodness, was this guy ever full of the love of God? They saw his face was like that of an angel. Well, you angel, God bless you, who is full of Holy Spirit, moving in the love of God, moving in the power of signs and wonders, that others would be set free and made whole by the power of God's love. I look forward to being with you tomorrow. We're going to see what these religious people did to Stephen and what he had to say to them. Oh, it was all truth. Come and join us. I'll see you tomorrow.
Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus.